Good morning, this is Carol Lighthall with Okemo Valley Chamber of Commerce. We're outside here sitting at a picnic table at Okemo Valley Television with some friends, and we're going to talk all about summer camp here in Okemo Valley. Let's start off with some introductions. Over here.
Hi, I'm Chris Hurkel from Okemo Mountain School. I'm the Alpine Director.
Excellent.
And I'm Mariel Meringolo. I'm the head of school at Okemo Mountain School.
I'm Rebecca Geary, Executive Director at the Farm and Wilderness Camps.
I'm Debbie Orton. I'm the School and Publicity Director for Fletcher Farm School for the Arts and Crafts.
And I'm Nick Miele. I'm the Ludlow Parks and Recreation Director.
So we have a fabulous variety of programs represented today. And of course, if we invited all of the summer camp programs, we'd have many more. This is a great representation. I think before we get into program specifics, what you offer, who you offer it to, that kind of thing, I would just ask you generally to share your thoughts on what summer camps do for children. Maybe specifically, well, summer camps for children and maybe for people also, because I know Fletcher Farm does that. Could we talk about that? Just jump in, anyone?
Sure. One of the things I know it offers up is a sense of independence and self-reliance. Also, children in the summer will take risks and do things they normally wouldn't do, whether it's trying a food or going on a hike that they see as very challenging.
Typically, we change our summer programming so that now the after-school program is actually going to be taking over the summer program, but it's going to be outside. It's going to be at West Hill Recreation Area, so that makes it a lot better. And now we're going towards specialized camps, so baseball, soccer, basketball, and because it seems like your short season, there's not enough time to learn the skills that you need to be successful. So at least when you have a week full of just soccer, you're working on soccer all week, and then you're able to be ready for that season.
Mm-hmm. Anything to add, Chris?
Yeah, I think, the benefit to, everyone, and I think it, chiming in with Mariel, is that, it offers kids and adults, all these programs offer new experiences for people that they normally wouldn't have access to. And I know in our camp, we offer a wide variety of sports that a lot of kids don't have access to, like water skiing, mountain biking, rock climbing, rappelling, I think that's one of the real benefits, is to give people those experiences, and go through that process.
So for me, summer camps, I think of when I was 10 or 12 years old, learning to swim, being a Girl Scout, those kinds of things, all those skills. And I know I'm speaking to the choir here, but all those skills make us better, well-rounded individuals. Maybe they teach us how to have fun, teach us how to be creative, all kinds of good things, how to rely on ourselves. So really good. Let's talk about the programs you offer, maybe over here.
Sure. We are Outdoor Experiential Ed, and we're celebrating our 80th year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so it hasn't changed. I think the biggest thing that's changed in terms of programs is kids before didn't have the technology and devices, and so they didn't know what they were missing. And now it's a big shift for them to get out in the wild, to go hiking, and to recognize that it's okay to leave technology behind. You don't need that. They go off they go swimming in the lake, canoeing. They're learning to forage and see what is outside, what nature is around them. So there's so many other activities around arts and music and woodworking, but a lot of it's just being in nature and appreciating the beauty of the Okemo Valley and surrounding towns.
Vermont, that's fabulous. And so is it a little bit of a challenge to have the kids that participate in camps leave technology?
For some, it's and I think all programs probably see the same thing. It's them recognizing that they're okay having spontaneous conversations, that they don't need to have everything planned out for them, and it's freeing for them. they really appreciate that time where it's not structured. They can just have conversations or choose activities. I would say for some kids it is an adjustment, but they really take that with them when they go home.
Mm-hmm. Kind of one-to-one people contact is
Yes.
kind of a unique, a little too unique these days. Debbie, what about Fletcher Farm? Tell us, I know you have a lot scheduled happening.
We have basketry, we have silver fabrication, we have clay classes, we have a whole week class for younger kids called Mrs. Howard's Imagination Station, where they go in and they do nothing but produce art all week. You know, they start in the morning thinking about what they're doing, and they just go, and it's amazing. The kids love it. As a matter of fact, that class has already been filled this summer just with scholarship students wanting to take it, and we've had to turn some away. So we have a variety of classes. For example, when we do silver, which is kind of my specialty, we teach kids how to use a torch, you know, and teach them that it's got to be respected, but it's nothing to be afraid of, you know. And by the end of the week, they're just like it's nothing. So, you know, it's good for kids because it helps pump up their self-esteem and helps introduce them to things they wouldn't ordinarily think about, you know, like safety.
Yeah. And risk, right? To
Yes.
understand risk and
Yes.
to take steps to protect yourself and know
Yes.
what you're doing.
Yes.
It's all important part of what you do,
is.
I think. Nick, so tell us about, so this is the town of Ludlow Parks and Rec.
Yep.
And I see you're running all over town. So what are you most busy doing these days?
Right now I'm doing some Little League. We have Cal Ripken season going on right now. We're starting the playoffs for our 12U's and 10U's, and our 5-6 softball starts the week after, and 3-4 softball finishes up on Saturday with their jamboree at Ludlow. So we're doing all those playoffs. So we're trying to get the fields ready and the games going on. And we just found out, on Sunday, that Ludlow gets to host the 10U districts, which is basically all 9-10 all-star teams from Southern Vermont.
Yay!
Get to come to Ludlow
Excellent.
the 15th, 16th, and 23rd, and they'll play a tournament play, and the winner and runner-up get to go up to Newport for the state tournament. And if you win the state tournament, then you go on to regionals.
Excellent. And so the kids that sign up with your classes, are they from Ludlow, or is it a bigger area?
For our rec sports throughout the year, it tends to be Mount Holly and Ludlow combined. Mm-hmm. And as we get towards the summer, this year we're actually running a basketball camp, and we ended up partnering with the Chester Rec Department and the Cavendish Rec Department.
Nice.
And we all sat down and said, all right, who really wants to take a 1 week camp? And so Cavendish took baseball, and that will be at Grevin, the 8th through the 12th of July. I'll take the basketball camp, and that's 22nd through the 26th. Chester's doing the soccer camp, which is August 12th
Wow.
through the 16th.
So a real collaboration.
Right, so instead of each of us having those 3 camps with 10 to 15 kids, we're all taking one camp, combining everyone, so then you get 30, 35, 40 kids, and that makes it
Really interesting,
a lot
right?
better.
Yeah.
And I know, especially when you're running camps, the more kids you have, the easier it is. So, and the other thing which is nice is that there's so many other options for summer camps to go to, for you to do during the summer. Where in the past, you only had 1 or 2 options. Now there's a huge breadth, and you can really define which one you want to do.
I'm just curious how you came to the collaboration aspect with the other towns. How did you get to that point?
So we were talking to each other, and last summer, because I ran a baseball camp, and we had 11, 12, 13 kids, but I knew Chester did and Cavendish did, and they all had about the same numbers.
Yes.
So instead of all of us hiring the staff and trying to be there. If we each have 13, 14 kids, you could all combine them and end up having 40 kids.
Yes.
Plus, a lot of these athletes end up playing against each other throughout the whole year, because most of them are the same age, and we all played. We end up playing Chester and Cavendish and Springfield. But
So you're all friends.
right, a lot of them are friends, and the biggest proponent was, since Black River's closing, a lot of the kids are going to start going to school together.
Yes.
And this gives them another opportunity for
Nice.
them to combine and start to get to know each other.
Wow,
right,
that's beautiful.
right before they go to high school.
Right.
Yeah, excellent. So folks with Okemo Mountain School, tell us about your student athletes, how many you have, and what your programs look like.
Yeah, so during the winter, for our winter term program, we have about 55 student athletes in a given year, kids that are competing in ski racing, snowboarding, and freestyle skiing. But during the summer, we wind up serving a larger population. Some local kids come to our camps that don't otherwise participate in the school, and we have other kids that come to the camp from out of town who are part of the Okemo Mountain Weekend competition programs. So in the summer, we have a one on snow camp every year, and obviously that can't be here locally, so it's away somewhere. And this summer it's going to be in Mount Hood, Oregon, on the glacier there.
Wow.
So for 2 weeks the kids will get a chance to train in their snow sport, which is an awesome benefit to them. But then locally we do 4 different week-long camps, summer adventure camps, where kids get to access a lot of cool activities that Chris was referencing before, like rock climbing, mountain biking, rappelling, water skiing, hiking, and they get a chance to get out there, try these new things, push boundaries, take risks like we've been talking about, and also just learn how to be fit and to get in better physical condition through fun activities and having a good time. I don't know, Chris, Chris works really directly with each of the camps. He travels to Mount Hood and then is working locally with the camps each summer. So
Yeah, you pretty much hit it all. I mean, the only thing I can add is, in our summer camps, there's a physical fitness component to the camp. So typically in the morning, we do physical fitness, different types of activities, whether it's endurance training, plyometric training, stuff that, it can be pretty hard, for the kids, but it's good for them to, go through that process and to really, understand what the exercises are and why they benefit, and what the expectation, if you're trying to be a higher level athlete, what the expectation is with their physical fitness, and then to combine a lot of really cool activities for the kids on top of that, and kind of, show them, hey, if you're in really good shape, it gives you a lot of opportunities to be able to do these things.
Yeah, excellent.
Can I add some because I realized I didn't mention that we have 5 summer overnight camps, 2 programs, and a day camp.
Yeah, tell
And
us all
wondering
about
about
it.
Yeah, and in the summer we have upwards of almost 700, 800 kids come through,
Wow.
and 250 staff.
Yes.
And with that, we have one of our sort of our capstone events is we have teens that hike the long trail end to end, so over 270 miles. And they do a lot of the trip planning, a lot of the meals, and basically take a leadership role. We also
That's
have
amazing.
Yeah, we've also expanded our teen offerings because teens have a lot of options, increasingly. And so we have a CAP program, Counselor Apprentice, where teens can get some training, whether it's lifeguard certification, wilderness first aid, and then they have a chance to actually work in some of the camps and get some experience. And we're hearing more and more that's something that teens are looking for. And I would say one of our more unique programs are 2 camps that are very rustic. You don't wear watches in the camp, no mechanical devices. They pump water from a well, they cook on an open flame, and they're basically no electricity. And there's a girls program, Red Spruce Grove, and a boys program, Flying Cloud. So it's
And what age is that?
that's for ages 11 to 14.
Yes.
And one of the things that the kids build up to is to do a solo where they're out 24 hours or 18 hours by themselves in a debris shelter they've created, and basically they're to their own devices.
Yeah, that's great. And so when it's 700 to 800 kids participating, are those kids, where are those folks coming from, is my question.
Yeah, well, most of them come, our largest populations are, believe it or not, Brooklyn, New York,
Yes.
and the Boston, Massachusetts area.
Yeah.
We really look to support the Vermont families, and also we have an arrangement with the Vermont Refugee Resettlement to support them. But they're coming, other than that, all over the country, and we've even had people come as far away as China.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. And I'm so envious of participants for all of your programs. You know, wish I was 12 years old again, just so I could jump in. And it seems like when we have students coming to our area for camps, that plants a seed for later in life, not just in terms of what they want to do, maybe where they want to be and what makes them happy. So it's all really good. What else have I missed? What haven't I asked about?
We have a scholarship program that's jointly funded by, actually the scholarship program comes from the Anthony Morrow Trust Fund.
Yes.
And they've given us $5,000 to split between youth and seniors, which is kind of nice. Although
I love that combination.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I mean, they're underserved populations.
Yes.
So because of that, we've been able to offer more scholarships to Ludlow students because the Morrow grant is specifically for Ludlow students. And we've been able to expand the program to include a lot more kids. It's a great thing when you only have to spend $12.50 to put your kid through a week of summer camp.
Yes.
So that works. And we also are subsidized by the Fletcher Farm Foundation. They pay up to half of a class tuition for anybody in the Ludlow Cavendish area, which is a nice thing. And frankly, we like to keep it to the local children because those are our future.
Yes.
You know, those are the kids that are going to bring their kids to Fletcher Farm for summer camp. And we've heard from a few adults whose parents did take Fletcher Farm summer school classes and who passed along a love for arts and crafts.
Yes.
So that's really nice.
Excellent.
I would agree that that's so important. You know, we see increasing need for not only socioeconomic diversity, but also people in the middle class. Camp is a privilege, and it's increasingly hard to be able to manage that. So, you know, that's a big piece of our fundraising, is to try and increase that endowment.
Right.
Any other closing comments? Are we about at the end? I think we probably are. Anything else that we want to touch on?
We have a wide spectrum of different arts and crafts for people to be involved in at all ages. As a matter of fact, we have some of the local students who are signed up for adult classes. We assume that the children that we put through summer camp are going to be 7 to 17, but some of the older kids are moving on into adult classes, which is nice to see.
Yes.
And I would say if there's any young adults who are looking for a job, we still are hiring some counselors. And also there are some openings in the day camp, so if you want to test it out, that's a good way to get your feet wet before you consider doing an overnight camp.
Nice. And what are the requirements for counselors? Camp
Well,
counselors?
18 plus, though in the day camp, if you live locally and can commute, you can be 17. And 21 plus ideally for the overnight camps because we want some drivers. But, you know, we do the training, lifeguard skills, things like that. So just an ability and willingness to work with young people and have fun and live in the rustic wild.
Nice. Very nice. I think we're going to, I think that's the end of our program, and I'm so impressed with the representation of summer camps and you folks for joining in today. So whether it's for fitness and learning some important skills, whether it's for wilderness, whether it's for creative learning, whether it's for sports and rec. It's all good, and I think it's part of our journey on the planet and making us all a little bit more well-rounded and happy people. So thank you for what you do, and thanks for joining in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
for having us.